Historical Society. Once again, I am Tom Robertson. I write for the Vista Press. This lady here tells me what to do and sends me all over the place doing all kinds of great articles. I just did one on Alta Vista Garden. If you haven't been to Alta Vista Garden, shame on you. You need to get up there and check it out. It's a great place. They had the mead festival that I covered also. That was unbelievable if you like mead. Anyway, we're going to get things started here, and we have some introductions to do and some welcome. So I'm going to bring up your president, Eleanor Hutchins.
Good afternoon. Glad to see everybody here. If you would please stand, if you can, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to do a quick introduction of a couple of guests we have here. Give a big round of applause for a person that has been one of the most active members of Vista for a long time. She's decided she has had enough. She wants to kick back. She wants to travel. She wants to go to different places outside of the city of Vista. Big round of applause for your mayor, Judy Ritter. Also, please give a round of applause to the Deputy Mayor, John Franklin, who is running for mayor. And Eleanor tells me that is all the city officials, I believe, that are here. Are you just saying that? Once again, I am Tom Robertson, so we're going to get things started up here. Please welcome Terry Moxley, who will lead you in an invocation.
Please bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, Creator of the universe, we come today with thanks for the many blessings we have received and for the new honorees to the Historical Society Hall of Fame. We are grateful to be able to meet once again, and we ask your blessing on the food that we are about to receive. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Judy, would you like to do your special thing now this time, since we have a little time before they start bringing the lunches out? So I'm going to bring up Judy Ritter. She has a special proclamation she would like to read about some incredible people that also have been extremely active in the city of Vista and are responsible for a lot of things in dealing with the Vista Historical Society. Judy will tell you who they are.
Well, maybe I could have Jack and Sharon Larimer come up here. Where are they? Here they come. I'll just before, because I'm retiring at the end of this year, before I'm retired, I just wanted to recognize Jack and Sharon because they have done so much for the Historical Society, and they spend all their time out there organizing it, and I just wanted to thank them, and so I have a little letter of appreciation for them that I wanted to give to them, and so I'm going to read it because they deserve it, and they deserve all the appreciation that they all give them. So here, hold on. I'm going to read this. Says this letter of appreciation is being presented to recognize Jack and Sharon Larimer, both longtime Vista residents of the Vista Historical Society and Museum located at the Rancho Minerva. The Vista Historical Society and Museum was founded in 1967 as the Vista Rancho Historical Society under the direction of its first president, Floyd Sorensen Jr. Its purpose was to support the city of Vista's acquisition of the Rancho Buena Vista and surrounding areas so the city could build a city hall and the Historical Society could have a museum. While the project did not pass, the first museum located this new home at 651 East Vista Way a building that was leased to the city and remained at that location from 1994 to 2007. Am I doing this right, Jack? I got that. Right, he knows the dates. Until the city decided to build a fire station on that site. In 2008, the city acquired Rancho Minerva from the Vista Unified School District, and the museum opens its doors in the Rancho Minerva in September 2009. Okay, after Jack retired from the city of Vista in 2002, he accepted a position as the director of the Vista Historical Society and Museum due to his love and appreciation for history. Jack, honored to do the job he has been entrusted with, running the museum's day-to-day operations and ensuring everything ran well, loves his job and enjoys checking the displays and making sure things don't float away. Working at the museum is personal to Jack because he grew up with the people that visit and now even sees their children visit the museum. When Sharon retired from the city, after primarily working in the building department as a certified plans examiner from 1974 to 2010, she accepted a position at the Vista Historical Society Museum as the recording secretary. She still serves today and also volunteers on the city's traffic commission, and since 2011, Sharon has volunteered on the Senior Citizen Affairs Commission. Both civic-minded, Jack and Sharon have been actively involved in serving the Vista community through volunteerism and preserving Vista's rich historical facts, properties, artifacts, historical objects, and documents for all to see. They never miss an opportunity to set up a booth at annual events, such as the Vista Strawberry Festival, the city's Summer Fun Fest, and actively volunteer at the annual Christmas party, the Hall of Fame Committee, and fundraise for the nonprofit through community events such as the annual Ice Cream Social and Barbecue, which is coming up this summer. Yeah. Vista is grateful to Jack and Sharon for their community-mindedness, commitment to volunteer service, generously giving of their time as evident by the museum's growing membership and the number of docents needed for museum hours. Jack and Sharon Larimer are deserving of this recognition today, and we appreciate their legacy in the city of Vista, so thank you to both of you.
Thank you, Mayor Ritter.
She's a photographer, she can't take her own picture.
I think we had a couple of pictures. Eleanor got the pictures, yeah. Sure did. We're going to bring Eleanor back up here while we're waiting for a luncheon to be served, and she is going to give you the state of the Historical Society.
I made the type big enough I don't have to put my glasses on. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us to honor these honorees and guests. Last year, 2021, we began the recovery from the pandemic. We were able to have a full slate of events beginning with our annual meeting last May, including the great Christmas party in December. We had our ice cream social and barbecue at their normal times in July and September. We participated in many events, including the Strawberry Festival in May, and then in June and October, the tractor shows at the Antique Steam Engine Museum, which are always a fun event. Our membership in the community stepped up to support the museum when we had a major water leak. For the first part of the year during the pandemic, we kept the museum closed, but later were able to open. We had to keep the museum closed because the county said you couldn't have anybody in there, and so Jack and Sharon had a little bit of time to redo some of the stuff in the museum since they never quit working. Thankfully, we were also able to take advantage of various government grants for our necessary expenses and proceed with our enhancement of the event area, which we use as a rental for private events. This year, we will add a new building, an additional storage building, to help free up some of the space for our bride's room. Again, we plan to host our annual events. Dates and times are listed in today's program. We have begun a fundraising campaign selling personalized bricks to be placed on the grounds of the museum. If you notice, they were on the front table where you filled out your name tag. We already have sold some and hope to sell more, and also that application is in our program. So we're off to a great start, so let's keep it going because we need your help. We hope you have an enjoyable afternoon with great food and companionship, and thanks for coming.
And these are the bricks right here. I picked up one of them in the back, and it has some engraving on it. So there are some, I believe the form is in your program as well. And also, back on the back table, close to where you checked in, anybody out there interested in getting married or remarried? Or married again and again? There's a form out there with some information about renting the Rancho Minerva, the great place that they have to set up for marriages and all anniversaries and all kinds of things. These forms are available on the back table as well. She mentioned the events that are coming up that are the fundraisers. The ice cream social is on Saturday, July the 23rd, goes from 1 to 5 o'clock, and they would love to have you out there. If you haven't been to the Vista Historical Society, I also wrote an article about them, so you can read that on the Vista Press. It's absolutely incredible. Such things as the name Vista was the third choice of the name for your city. That wasn't the first choice. There were several other choices instead. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Read the article online. And it was kind of a name that was just picked because the other two that the gentleman wanted to name your city in the post office area were already taken. So he couldn't use those. So he had to settle for Vista, of all things. So you are called Vista here. All right, the luncheon will be coming out in just a few minutes. I'm going to let you talk amongst yourselves while you're waiting. Also, the Historical Society has a shop set up over here. It's like shopping at Walmart. And you can pick up some caps and some shirts. And I picked up a couple other things. Believe it or not, you can get Vista Historical Society playing cards. Those are for sale. And also, everybody needs a license plate frame, right? For the Vista Historical Society. So walk over and check that out. And luncheon will be served shortly. And then we'll get right into the introduction of 9 new Historical Society Hall of Fame members. Okay?
Rosa.
Mr. Doug Goodmanson is going to tell you a little bit more about Slick.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? I know we had trouble earlier. I want to make sure. I see a few familiar faces out there.
You need to put the mic up to your mouth real close so you can't.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. I see a few familiar faces out there. And again, my name is Doug Goodmanson. And I first want to thank the Davis family for allowing me to come in and introduce Slick to this portion. I wanted to thank the Davis family again and introduce their family that is here today. Let's take a moment and introduce them. We have Slick's son, Rich Davis, and his wife, Jackie Costa. His son, Connie Davis, and Daria, his wife. We are sadly missing Corey Davis, the middle son, as he has recently passed. And I feel that Slick's wife, Wanda's parents, Nono and Nona, or Frida and Louie, and Slick's wonderful mother, Zora, they're with us today as well. We also have Debbie Duffy, mother and grandmother. Slick's grandchildren are here. Richie Jr. and his wife Angela, Mike and Jeff Davis are here, as well as the grandkids, great-grandchildren, excuse me, Renan, Devon, Charlie, and Ryan. Thank you all for being here. That's the family. Let's talk about the reason why we're really here and honoring today Carl Thomas Davis, known in Vista and throughout the United States, really, as Slick. If you hadn't had a chance, if you look at the accomplishments in the program today, you'll see a laundry list of items that I'm not going to go through point by point, but there are a few that I want to highlight. He was born in Taft, California, 1928, moved here to Vista in 37, and as an athlete, he was an unbelievable athlete at Vista High. If you look at his accomplishments, lettering in football, basketball, and fast pitch softball. Remember that sport, we'll come back to it. Slick also served his country. He was a Korean War veteran, and he served the community in Vista. That's why we are celebrating him today. Of those contributions to the city, look at what he's done. He was one of the original founders of Vista National Little League, the original founders of Vista Pony League. He continued supporting the community by coaching, managing, and creating teams for 20 and 30-year-olds with his good buddy John Oakley. From here, Slick went on to the sport he loved, fast pitch softball. Slick created, managed, owned, and coached 2 teams that represented Vista nationally. The Vista Roofers and the Vista Bombers represented Vista in 2 national tournaments. Those in the softball world knew Vista, California, for sure. Slick was not only a great ambassador for the game of softball, he was a great ambassador for the city of Vista. Slick was a businessman. With his leadership and business acumen, he went on to open more stores in Vista, Oceanside, and down in Mira Mesa. What a great look at a man's accomplishments right there that he's done for the community. But what I want to do is focus a little bit more on the Slick days I knew and some of our friends knew. The side I saw of Slick, working for him and playing ball for him for 10 years. I hope I get through this. And the side that my friends that are here in the audience saw of him, Paul Von Norman, Johnny Odell, Steve Lane, Gail and Bob Thompson. We all saw this inside of Slick. And there's a few words that I would use to describe Slick. A winner, a man of passion, and Slick cared. He was a caring person. Let's review those 3 terms. As a winner, look at his business record and his sports record throughout his ages. He didn't own 1 liquor store in Vista, he owned 4 or 5. He and his teams won year in and year out. And he and his Bomber and Roofer teams were competing on a national basis. Slick had passion. He had love of family, his kids, his sports, and his community. The passions led to not just founding of Vista National Little League or the Pony League, but he also sponsored hundreds of teams through his career. Youth teams, Little League teams, softball, girls softball, basketball, City League for the adults, City League basketball for the adults. So involved he was in the community. And finally, Slick cared. Slick went out of his way in caring for his family, his young people, on the teams that he was sponsoring, and the customers of his liquor stores. But there was also another group that he cared about. Those were those that were not as fortunate as the rest of us. I want to give you just a quick example, and I'll turn it over, but Slick's Liquor back in those days had a free delivery service. We didn't deliver to too many people on a frequent basis, but there were a few, more than a few actually, more than a handful. Those few were older and all lived by themselves. When we made the delivery, and Steve and Paul can attest to this, Slick wanted us to check their health, their needs, not just the delivery, but did they need transportation? Did they need doctors? Did they need groceries? Whatever the case may be. And that was coming from Slick. And it wasn't all about the delivery, believe me. In Slick's perspective, it was about taking care of these elderly people that were living alone. So in closing, Slick cared. He cared about his family, his business, his community, and people he didn't really know. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doug. Our next Vista Historical Society inductee will be Sandy Graham. Sandy was raised in Vista. She's known as a volunteer for many organizations, including Moonlight Angels, Vista Senior Center, Vista Historical Society, and many others. Speaking about Sandy and all of her accomplishments, her brother, Tom McDougall. Hello, everybody. I'm Andy. Nice to meet you well. I have a special feeling in my heart for Sandy Graham. I guess that's because I'm her brother. And I know her very well. Sandy and I are children of the McDougall. Like some of you remember McDougall Farmers in Vista. And we grew up in the drugstore. She was playing with toys and stocking shelves later, and I was reading comic books. That's how things happened then. Sandy graduated from Vista High School, attended Palomar College, and then she went to work for a local dentist doctor. I forgot the doctor's name, the dentist's name. And then on to being a secretary at the Vista Unified School District for many, many years, and retired from that job. She has one daughter, Laura, who lives at this time in Nevada. My sister just truly loves volunteering. She has volunteered for instance, Moonlight. She's been there many, many years, 20 years, as a volunteer, and received what is called the Star of the Year Award. She continues to do that at this time, and she also is a member of PEO chapter in Vista, Triple M Club, and spent quite a bit of time trying to help the people, citizens of this town. She feels that's something that she should be doing as a dedication during her retirement life. I would like to introduce my sister, Sandy Graham. Would you please stand up?
Part of the test is going to be
Thank you so much. It's quite overwhelming to receive this award, and a special thanks to my brother who agreed to come and speak for me. As you can tell, I've been very busy, and slowing down a bit, but not giving up yet. I love volunteering. I just thoroughly enjoy it. At the Star Award for the Moonlight Angels last October, I was honored and received the Star Award. When I came up to get my award, a funny story, they handed me some flowers, and I was standing there with these flowers. There was nothing on the bottom. They were soaking wet. So by the time I got through and to my seat, I noticed that I was wet. My hands were wet from the flowers. A little embarrassing. Anyway, beside that. As Tom said, I enjoy volunteering so much, and I'm really honored with this award. And one last note, today is my brother's birthday, and so graciously accepted my invitation to come and be with me today. So that's special. Thank you so very much. I'm very, very honored with this award. Thank you.
All right, Tom, you're looking good for a 21-year-old there.
That's not the way the math works.
It's new math. We old folks say it's new math. All right.
Maybe that's a picture of the flag.
Our third inductee for the Vista Historical Society, Norm Hollis. Norm retired to Vista in 1989 and since then has volunteered for private organizations and on various city commissions for the last 30 years. And speaking on behalf of Norm, let's once again greet our Mayor, Mayor Judy Ritter.
Thank you. Norm, you can come up here. And just so you know, I got this for one for Norm, but I bought one for every person that was awarded today, and I got one for, I didn't buy them, I brought them, one for Sharon, one for Jack. It's a, we have a challenge coin here from Vista that we did for Vista, and when they're gone, but, so we might want some for the Historical Society.
There you go, yeah.
It has our mission statement on the back. So the mission statement says, the city is dedicated to exceptional services to improving Vista's quality of life and to enhancing the uniqueness of the Vista community. It has our little logo on the front of it. And so I got one is for Norm, and then there's one on my table here, and I have one for each of you award winners today. So thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I was proud to nominate Norm Hollis for the 2022 Hall of Fame. He's a longtime Vista resident. He's made a significant impact on the quality of life of Vista's neighborhoods and parks, and on seniors and community groups. He demonstrates exceptional commitment to volunteerism by helping with special projects or ongoing activities and serving as a role model by inspiring others. Norm volunteers many hours in the community for the city of Vista, and he seems to know everyone, greeting them with a smile and a factoid about the city. He's active, positive, and cheerful, bringing people together to make Vista a better place to live. An interesting thing is I see him everywhere. He's like the parade. He's out driving the little golf cart at the parade. He drives the seniors to and from their luncheons at the senior center, and he just has Norm volunteers everywhere. Norm married his high school sweetheart, Martha, he called her Marty, in 1952. While he just told me while he was in the Seabees. I got that? The Seabees, I didn't know that. He pursued his engineering degree at Purdue University, and whenever I see the basketball games, and they have Purdue playing basketball, I always think of Norm, because he's the only person I know from Purdue. So whenever I see that, I go, oh, Norm's probably very happy. They raised their family and then retired to Vista in 1989, becoming active volunteers in the community. Since 1992, Norm has served on a City Vista Commission. Following his wife's death in 2008, Norm continued adding to his daily volunteer activities with the city, its homeowners association, and on the Scripps Community Advisory Board. In 2013, Norm received the 2013 Vista Chamber of Commerce Educator of the Year Award. He was on the Traffic Commission from July 1st, 1992 through June 30th, 1994. He was on the Planning Commission from July 1st, 1994 to June 30th, 1998. He was a chair also for a couple years. He was on the Parks and Recreation Commission from July 1st, 1998 through today, through currently. And he was actually the chair in 2003 through 2006. He's been on the Sales Tax Oversight Committee, still on that committee, since July 1st, 2012. And so he's currently serves on that. He continues to make a positive impact on Vista, and what sets him apart is his love for the city, his knowledge of its history, engagement with its present, and his shared vision for the future. Visitors meeting Norm always walk away knowing more about the city's many amenities and activities. Passionate about improving the quality of life for residents, he has touched numerous facets of City Hall policies and decisions on traffic, planning, current and new parks, and recreational opportunities. Norm recently served on the McClellan Senior Center's Nutrition Committee and has volunteered at the center for many years, shuttling seniors back and forth from the parking lot to the center's front doors. Norm's passion for volunteering, involvement in the community, and ability to give back are only second to his love for his family. He's truly an asset to our community, and I am so honored to nominate him for the significant recognition. So congratulations to Norm Hallis.
Yes, I would. What a wonderful city where I get, what a wonderful city where I get a hug from the mayor. So that's just wonderful. And my only regret is I won't be able to vote for you in November. But as Sandy, my fellow deputy, was saying, we were chatting, and how wonderful it is to be able to be involved in something that we really enjoy, and then to be appreciated for it. And so I just say thank you to all of you very much for this honor. I'm humbled and very, very pleased. Thank you.
Norm, there's always a write-in for the mayor on the ballot.
No, there's not any write-ins for the ballot.
Judy says no, she's taken that off the ballot.
Okay, we're going. Okay.
Once again, Norm Hollis. Our next inductee, we have a couple going in. John and Carol Herrera. John and Carol Herrera, together and separately, have volunteered for many organizations throughout the city of Vista and even beyond. Carol has worked in education as a teacher and serving on the Vista School Board for 16 years. Speaking about John and Carol, welcome Carol Brady.
It's a privilege to have nominated John and Carol for this award. They have both done so much in the city of Vista and for the kids of Vista. When John was 14, he enlisted in the Texas National Guard, which his father served with during World War II. At 17, he enlisted in the Navy and served on 3 ships and numerous shore installations, and a senior corpsman with the Marine Infantry Company in the Republic of Vietnam. Among his ribbons are the Presidential Unit Citation, the Combat Action Ribbon, and the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry. In 1968, the Department of the Navy implemented the Associate Degree Completion Program for Navy members, and John was chosen. And he went on to get his BA and MBA from National University in Vista, and he did a doctoral study at the United States International University of San Diego. After leaving the Navy, after 21 years, he worked for the IRS. We won't hold that against you. U.S. Customs Service, and taught the adult education program for Mira Costa College, the state of California, as well as other employees. He married and the father of 3 sons and a daughter, and has lived in Vista for 4 years. He is committed to community service. He and Carol raised funds for the Vista High School Showcats and helped tailor costumes for student competitive events. He is a past member of the National League of United Latin American Citizens, committed to assimilation into American mainstream. Hispanic Americans for the progress devoted to encourage students to remain in school and aspire to higher education. Supporting and obtaining mariachis, instruments for the Vista High Student Club. He was president of the Shadow Ridge Rotary Club in 2004, Mayor Morris Vance Advisory Committee member to liaison between the Latino community and the Sheriff's Department to create positive interaction. Was a founding member of the Vista Education Foundation, and he was a founding member of the Encuentros, did I pronounce that right? Leadership to support boys to achieve optimal education performance. A member of the American GI Forum, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Disabled American Veterans, 3rd Marine Division Association, and he was recipient of the San Diego Latino Champion Veterans of the Year 2014 award from the San Diego Union Tribune. He was recognized with El Rookie Award for noteworthy service to mariachi youth programs and youth services in 2018-2019, and the Rotary Year by the Route 78 Rotary Club. John has moved around the community quietly in an unassuming manner, helping out wherever help is needed. And Carol was born in Pennsylvania, and she earned her Bachelor of Science degree in elementary and high school education from the College of Misericordia, am I saying that right? A small Catholic college. She received her master's degree in teaching of reading from Scranton University, a Jesuit school. After relocating to California, she received administrative credential from the San Diego State University. She taught every elementary grade in private and public schools, gifted and talented students, as well as college classes. She was a principal of an elementary school in Carlsbad. It doesn't say here, but that's where it was, for 16 years. The school was recognized by the state of California as a winner of a Distinguished School Award. The school also was designated a top performing school by the state of California. She was hired by the Army-Navy Academy Adult Education in the 1970s to establish lead a testing program for enlisted Marines and their dependents at Camp Pendleton, El Toro, and Miramar Naval Air Station. It was part of the GI Bill. She was recognized as Teacher of the Year recipient by the San Diego Reading Association Award, consultant for McGraw-Hill Publishing Company, and a Western Association of Schools and College Evaluators. She served on the Vista Unified School District Board of Trustees for 16 years. Their experience prepared Carol for the next phase of her community's involvement as a school board member in Vista. She was a vote for increasing student instruction programs by 2 days. As a board member, Carol often encountered students who needed shelter, clothing, and medical services. Her position as a 5-year board member of the Solutions for Change and a 3-year board member of the Assistance League gave her insights into the available services for families. She was a 12-year member of the Tri-City Hospital Advisory Board. She was a founding member of the Vista Education Foundation along with John, and a recipient of their Lifetime Achievement Award. She has been a member of the Vista Sunrise Kiwanis for over 20 years, and I've known her since 2004. She implemented Bringing Up Grades program, which we call the BUG program, and has given out over 20,000 awards for the past 20-some years. The program continues to this day. Carol initiated a reading program for the Boys and Girls Club, and she led a team of Kiwanians to the club during the pandemic to read individually with a group of children to help them with their reading. This weekly program is very successful and is an ongoing program. Thank you, Carol and John.
As a former teacher myself for about 42 years, when Carol was put on the school board, we always say that she went to the dark side. Not really. Come on down, Carol and John. Say a few words. Come on over. John's going to start off.
Make it quick.
That's a teacher for you. All right. We're both honored.
Thank you so much for the kindness that I find all the time in this community. You really have been a great part of my family, and I so appreciate working with you to make this a better community. And Vista is a great community, and we need to keep working together to make it even better. So thank you so much for your kindness to myself and to John and to our family. And God bless you all.
I just want to thank Carol Brady Ames for nominating us, for Eleanor Hutchins and Dave Larkin, outstanding job. Jack Larimer, Sharon Larimer, outstanding job you do with the Historical Society. And all of you contributors, all of you social fraternal clubs, like Kiwanis, my God, the work that you do, Queen Hughes, and Lou, and the Rotarians. Since I came here in 1968, this community has been very welcome and nurturing and encouraging. And I have to say that when we're talking about it takes a village, this is the village. Thank you.
Once again, Carol and John Herrera. Our next inductee, Adele Larimer. Adele was a Vista resident for 60 years, volunteering in lots of organizations around, including Tri-City Hospital, where she volunteered for about 40 years. Speaking on behalf for Adele, here's Jack.
You can read about my mother in the pamphlet, but she had an interesting life, and when they came here to Vista, she really enjoyed the place. When my father died and she was approaching retirement, a lot of her friends, especially those back east, said, well, are you coming back to Chicago? And she just looked at them funny. But, because the one thing about Vista and San Diego County is that they love the weather and they love the people. Couple of things about her growing up. She grew up in Chicago and graduated high school at age 16, and they bought her a car. It mentions that in the thing. What it doesn't mention is it was a Ford car, and back then the Ford company, and I imagine the others too, realized that most people didn't know how to drive a car. So they automatically included someone to give you lessons, which was a good idea, except for her. She was a very good-looking young 16-year-old, and she said the guy that came to help her learn how to drive, all he wanted to do was go park. So she had to learn how by herself, and the reason they gave her the car, and the reason that they wanted her to drive is that several of her relatives wanted her to drive to New York. So without much practice, she drove them to New York, but they didn't necessarily want to stop at hotels. So they just kept her driving by singing to her so she wouldn't fall asleep. Anyway, that's the my mother was very giving and would get along with anybody, and she really liked the place, and she really liked volunteering for Tri-City Hospital. She volunteered most of the time in the emergency room and saw a lot of things, but she said her favorite thing was cleaning up bloody messes. So I asked her why once, and her answer was cryptic. She said, no, it really bothered me until my mother showed me how to clean a bathroom. Now, I've cleaned bathrooms and I've never had a bloody mess, like it's not a big one, but I never really asked her what she meant. But anyway, she really enjoyed Tri-City Hospital. She really enjoyed working for Lincoln, especially as the attendance secretary, and later as the principal secretary. And she said she remembered all the people all the kids, and lots of them to the end of her life remembered her. And that's all I really have to say. Thanks.
We're going to keep Jack up here. Our next inductee is Dr. John Stadden. Dr. John was the founding president of the Vista Rotary. He was a physician and a surgeon operating in this area for 20 years, and he was also a hotel owner. And Jack is going to tell you a little bit more about Dr. John Stadden.
Yes, although I never met the man, John Stadden, during the time he was here, was a very important doctor. A lot of people that I had run across knew him. He was in several different organizations, and back in the 30s when they were doing this, everything was new. That's when the Rotary was founded in 1937. He was the first president, and that's they met in the old Vista Hotel, Vista Inn, which was the biggest, fanciest building in town, where the Sonic Burger is today. He was apparently very generous and had a wide practice. Later, he bought a hotel on Palm Drive. The building is no longer there. I don't even think the lot's there now. It's part of the road. But it was there for many years and used for many things. And there were several hotels in town, but his was one of the most luxurious, I'm told. Anyway, he was here. Nobody is here now that really remembers him, I don't think. But he was very important in his day, and he retired here and lived in his hotel until his death in 1961. He was survived by a large family, but none of them are in the area anymore.
Once again, if you get a chance to go to the Vista Historical Society, I guarantee you, you will learn more than you ever thought you ever wanted to know about the city of Vista from this man right here. Our final inductees, a couple, Epi and Virginia Tapia. I'm sorry, Epi and Virginia, nobody knows about you. Epi and Virginia are longtime Vista residents and volunteers for many Vista events and professional organizations. I've had the good pleasure over the last few months of interviewing Epi several times, and he's got a cookbook. I just covered the book signing at the salon, and that's a whole story unto itself. The salon and the day spa and all that kind of stuff. 75% of all proceeds go to me. That's why I'm pushing this book. No, it's a great book, and Epi will tell you a little bit about that. He and Virginia, and his 98-year-old mother will be on the Zevely Zone on Channel 8. They were there at the book signing. I had caviar, never had that before. That's going to be on next Friday on Channel 8 at 6, 7, and 8. Is that right? That's correct. Okay, you get to see him on there as he's schmoozing around with all the people on the show. And it was a great fun time there for the book signing. And speaking about Epi and Virginia, Eleanor Hutchins.
It's my pleasure to introduce Epi and Virginia. I have known Epi and Virginia since, oh gosh, I can't even tell you how many years it's been, but I felt that they should be inducted into Vista Hall of Fame because both of them graduated from Vista High, and because they are longtime residents, they're going to celebrate 55 years of marriage in September. That's a rare event nowadays. As Vista's owners, both of them have volunteered countless hours serving as chairpersons or board members on every civic and community organization in Vista. For many years, I've had the pleasure to interact with both of them in business and personally. It's my great honor to introduce to you Epi and Virginia Tapia for the Vista Hall of Fame 2022.
Virginia, I'm going to let you speak first.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, family, and thank you, friends. For the first time ever, I am not going to speak. I have a lot of practice in doing that, so I'm turning the mic over to Epi.
Well, thank you, all of you. Virginia and I are honored and humbled to be in the company of these honorees. They continue to give of themselves to the community. I am overwhelmed to see many of our friends and family to honor us fellow honorees. I want to thank the Historical Society and Eleanor Hutchins for maintaining or nominating Virginia, and I want to wish and thank the board for this honor. I'm going to put on Virginia's glasses because I can't read Yeah. We are fortunate to have grown up in Vista. We have been fortunate to see our town grow and flourish. I recall that we had only one stop sign at the corner of South Santa Fe and East Vista Way. Slick and Spicy was the only liquor store in Vista. I remember going to Los Angeles on Highway 101 with only 2 lanes. Our folks packed a lunch because it took so long to get there. We would stop by along the way and have and enjoy our lunch. In reading the bio of today's inductees, we found a ribbon that flows through Virginia's life. Dr. Staton delivered Virginia at Adele Larimore and Virginia's mother, Mary Ross, were best friends. Working at the Lincoln Junior High cafeteria, the site of today's City Hall. The building we now occupy on Paseo Santa Fe is where Virginia's family doctor's offices were Drs. Charles and Eugene Medlin. Virginia has fond memories of the McDougal drugstore, as I do, which Sandy Graham's family owned. I remember that my mother would sign a little note saying, "My child can pick up a pack of cigarettes for me." And I would be remiss if I did not thank my wife for showing me the article in the Vista Press that wanted property owners, merchants on South Santa Fe to form a committee that was known as the Redevelopment Committee, which I served with our Mayor, Judy Ritter. Virginia said, "This is something that might interest you," and she was right again. As you women all know, you're always right. Virginia said, "This is something that might interest you," and she was right again. This is where my interest in the city of Vista began. Thank you, Judy. I recall the week that we found out we were being considered for this honor, we also got our book published. And the book, to let you know, is a cookbook, but it is really to honor women, the contributions that they make in our lives, the things that they do for our community, the things that they do for us, is really to honor women. We are proud to live in Vista. We can enjoy the best climate anywhere. From the travels that Virginia and I have done, I can truly say there is no better climate than here in Vista. I want you all to think about how fortunate we are to live in Vista. I want you to be proud of being here. Of all the places that we have been, Vista is the best place. I know we can go outside, and we're not going like this because of all the bugs. And Vista is known for vistas, and that's what they are, vistas. And I personally want to thank the universe for all the women in our lives. Eleanor told me that I could not talk for a long time. So I won't talk for a long time. But what I do want to say is, in closing, what my mother always says to me as I am taking my leave from her. Que Dios te bendiga. Que Dios te bendiga. So I say to all of you, que Dios los bendiga a todos. God bless you all. Eleanor said that if I did not introduce my mother, I would be remiss. So I want you all to meet my mother. She is 98 years old and she's sitting at the family table. You want to say hi, Mom?
Thank you all for in here with my son. My words don't come out since I had
Mini stroke.
so my words don't come out right, okay? But I love everybody else. I worked with I had 22 girls handicapped that I used to take care of. And home is where I was working. I love my girls.
Enough about you, Mom.
When we were at the book signing the other day, and I was covering it for the Vista Press, Jeff Zevley, you're very familiar with the Zevley Zone in Channel 8? He's a great, fun program. He goes all over the place doing great interviews. He spent more time with Epi's mom than he did with Epi. So once again, Virginia and Epi, Tapia. And the first book is available. It's over there. Once again, a huge round of applause for 9 new inductees to the Vista Historical Society. Just a couple of reminders again, stop by and support the Vista Historical Society. They've got the Grit fundraiser going on. The ice cream social will be coming up pretty soon. If you've never been to the barbecue, man, are you missing some good food. So you need to check that out. Just kind of pencil those dates in, put them in your phone, write them on the calendar, make sure you go. And that wraps it up. We thank you for being here for the 2022 Hall of Fame inductees. Oh, wait a minute, we have one left.
We have to vote in the new board member.
Oh, we have to do a vote. You didn't tell me about that part. Elmer, come on up. She's hugging right now. We have to do a vote in for the new board members.
The re-election and the new board, and Carol and Sandy.
We do have a new board member to elect, correct? Carol?
Carol Herrera.
Herrera.
She's hiding. Sandy's being re-elected. Sandy being re-elected.
Sandy Graham?
Yes. You have to go up here.
We have to maneuver the way through the maze.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
Make a motion to induct. Oh, Judy's motions to induct 2 new members to the Vista Hall of Fame. Oh, to the Historical Society. Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye. Opposed?
No opposed. No, we're not going to say opposed. Nobody. We already bent their arms enough. We're not going to ask to oppose. Thank you. I do will mention that we do need members. So if you're interested in becoming a board member, membership envelopes are on the front table. So come out and help us. We're a great group. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much for attending, and don't forget the little shopping over here, and come back next year.